Hey everyone, welcome back to another Mattel Jurassic World review. Today we're taking a look at the new Primal Attack Savage Strike Pachycephalosaurus. This figure is part of Wave 2 of the Primal Attack Savage Strikes. Now this figure has been kind of hard for collectors to get their hands on. I ended up getting lucky and getting mine off of Amazon for regular retail price, which is $9.99, but this figure is also showing up at Kroger and I believe Myers supermarket chains, and I don't think it's been found in Target. I know Wave 1 of the Primal Attack Savage Strikes have been popping up randomly at Target, so hopefully this one will pop up soon because I think this is a really, really good looking Pachycephalosaurus repaint. I'll also leave a link to Amazon in the description if you want to order this figure for yourself. A word of advice: when I was trying to get this figure for retail price, Amazon always had it listed for third-party seller prices, which are much higher than the retail price. So I had to keep going underneath other buying options and keep checking a few times a day. And eventually it popped up underneath the other buying options for the regular price of $9.99. So keep checking, maybe you get lucky and snag one for a good price. So let's just go over the packaging really quick before we crack this figure open. It comes in the new Primal Attack style packaging that we've been seeing since the beginning of the year with the sunset and paddock fences. The Jurassic World logo up in the corner, picture of the Savage Strike action. In the bottom over here, Owen in blue as always. And spinning it around, you get a nice full art picture of the Pachycephalosaurus. And then right here in the bottom left-hand corner, you have a picture of the other figures in this wave. Charlie, Sauropelta, Postosuchus, and Blue. So that will pretty much do it for the packaging. Let's crack this figure open and take a closer look. And here is the Pachycephalosaurus out of the packaging, and this is a really nice repaint. This is, I believe, the fourth Pachycephalosaurus we got in the Mattel Jurassic World line so far, and I think this is my favorite color scheme on them. The Legacy one is nice, but I just really like this light brown coloration with this bright green markings underneath the head, throat, stomach, and tail, and you have some of it along the thighs right here, and then some more of that bright green speckling along the side of the body, up through the neck onto the head, and you got a little white paint on the dome right here. But I really like how that bright green and light brown contrast on this figure. All in all, a fantastic repaint. I know Mattel gets a little bit repaint happy, but some of them are really well done, and this Pachycephalus repaint is pretty good. So let's just do a couple quick measurements. This figure is about 8 3/4 inches long, and if you account for the bend in the tail, the figure is about 9 1/4 inches long. Pachycephalosaurus in real life was about just over 14.5 feet long. So with those measurements, that puts this figure somewhere in the 1/18 scale range. So let's pull this figure and take a closer look at some of the finer details. We have a very well detailed head right here. Actually, the whole figure is sculpted with a lot of nice scale detail. They did a really good job on this one, considering this is one of the earlier figures, well, this mold anyways, that Mattel did release. You got the eye painted in yellow right here. You got some of that bright green markings on the face. You got some nice bumps and knobs along the snout right here. You got a nicely sculpted beak. Turn the figure over. It looks like a paint mishap. It almost looks like dried glue. I have like this white crusty stuff underneath the chin of this figure right here. It's really not too bad when you look at it from the side. When you turn it over, it is a little bit irritating. You know, Mattel's hit or miss with paint apps. It's probably some of the white paint from the dome that just bled down here however the figure was being painted at the factory. It's not the worst paint mishap I've ever seen, but it doesn't bother me too much since I really won't be displaying the figure upside down. And then going down, you can see more of that green paint along the throat right here, a lot more nice scale detail. The hands are nicely sculpted. You got some nice large scales right here. You don't have any of the hand claws painted, which is pretty typical for the figures. Then going down to the feet, a lot of nice scale detail, large scales right here. The toes, claws aren't painted, which would be nice if they did paint them. It's one thing I've always critiqued Mattel for, and since we got the figure turned over, here is the scan code if you want to scan it into the fax app. And then going down to the thighs, a lot more nice scale variation right here. And then going down to the tail, you got some more nice scale detail. So all in all, a very, very well sculpted figure. It has a lot of nice detail on it. Now let's just go over articulation really quick. The head is on a ball joint. It can rotate to the side about 90 degrees. I think you could go full 360 with it, but it gets really, really tight when you're trying to go around. And then it can look up a little bit and down a little bit. Really not too much movement, just the way it's sculpted. If there was a little bit more clearance right here, I think you could have got a lot more head movement. Going down to the arms can move backwards. And forwards, they are on a hinge if you want to swing the arms out. And then turn the figure over right here. You got just a little bit, very, very tight pivot on these hips right here. They really creak when I push them in. And then the back legs can move. That's about as far forward as they can move. And they can move back a lot. This is probably the tightest joints I've ever felt on a Mattel figure. There's a nice ratchet in here, and the legs will click into place, but man, they are really, really tight on my particular figure for some reason. And that is pretty much it for articulation. The last thing we need to go over is its action feature. To activate the action feature, all you need to do is support the figure by its legs and push down on the tail right here, cause the neck to retract. And when we get to a certain point, the head will snap forward for its ram in action. So a pretty simple and straightforward action feature. All right, let's move on with some comparisons. First up is one of the human figures. Here it is with John Hammond, and here it is with the Savage Strike Scootosaurus, and here it is with the new Attack Pack JP1 style Velociraptors, which just came out in that new Escape from, it was a new bar set available at Target. Definitely love these two raptors. Awesome paint job on them. And here it is with the Soundstrike Majungasaurus, which I think is probably one of the best figures released in Primal Attack as of right now. And here it is with the all those sound strikes, you can look at them wrong, they just go off. And here it is with the Massive Biters Seats. And lastly, here it is with some other Pachycephalosaurus from Mattel. Here it is with the Dino Rivals Pachycephalosaurus, the new Camp Cretaceous Savage Strike Stygimoloch, and the Attack Pack Draco Rex. You know, every time I bring up any of these figures, this one doesn't want to stand. There we go. Some paleontologists consider these three separate species. Some of them think them as different growth stages of Pachycephalosaurus, but that is always up for debate. But we definitely do have some nice variety of Pachycephalosaurus in the Jurassic World line as of right now. So, final thoughts on this new Pachycephalosaurus. I really like this figure. I think this is my favorite color scheme of the three other Pachycephalosaurus that we've gotten in the line so far. I really like that light brown and bright green coloration. Definitely a cool looking figure, and it's a nicely sculpted figure. And like I said at the beginning of the video, this figure retails for $9.99. There's a link in the description to Amazon if you want to try to get one for yourself. It keeps popping in and out for a retail price, so I wish you luck in trying to get your hands on this figure. And hopefully some more of Wave 2 will pop up in stores, because I know a lot of people are still looking for the Pachycephalosaurus and this Packy right here. So that would do it for the review. I have a bunch of stuff coming in next week. I got some someone up in Canada helping me out, getting some figures over to me. And I got some stuff coming in from Collecting. I got some stuff that came in from Safari the other day. So I have a lot of stuff that I will be reviewing over the next few weeks, so stay tuned for that. And as always, if you're enjoying the content on this channel, show your support by hitting that subscription button just below the video. Each subscription helps out the channel tremendously and is greatly appreciated. And I'll see you for the next one.